Hello and welcome to The Positive Principle, the show where we help you to change your life by teaching you very specific positive principles to change your relationships, to change your financial situations, to change anything that you want to have positive results in. If you're sick of negative results in your life, just listen to the show for a few times and you will gain tools and strategies to change your life for the better, the way better. I am your host, Max Ryan, and I am so excited that you're here today. Let me ask you this before we get started. What have you been attracting into your life? Have you liked what you've been attracting into your life? Are you attracting positive things into your life? Or are you attracting negative things into your life? Well, this show tonight is all about the law of attraction. And just so all of our regular viewers know, my co-host Polly is on vacation right now. She is in Northern California having a beautiful vacation with her family. And she says hello to all of you. And I have a very special law of attraction guest host here today, my very good friend, Judy Geary. Hey, Judy, how are you?
Hi. Hey, everyone. Hi, Max. I am wonderful. Excited to be here.
Well, thank you so much for being here. You know, I thought about doing the show myself, and Polly just said, you know, let's do the show yourself. And I was like, okay. But then I thought, you know, I'm a certified law of attraction trainer. I've studied it for years and years and years. And I thought, you know what? You're such a good friend of mine and you're a great teacher. And I wanted you to be here to take the viewers' questions and their comments so we can help them more. Right, Judy?
Absolutely, Max. I'm telling you, you know, I know you and I have been like masterminding together for years. Mm-hmm. And so when you invited me to be on the show, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we work so well together in everything that we do.
It's just a natural fit, right?
Exactly. It's an ideal match.
It's an ideal match. You know, we're going to talk about that probably today in the law of attraction about matches. But before we go into that, let me just tell everyone that's new. My name is Max Ryan, and I'm the creator and founder of AttractPositiveResults.com, where I help people move in their life from an orientation of overwhelm and fear and anxiety and negative results to an orientation of joy and flow and actually attracting really great positive results in their life. And I do that by teaching, of course, the law of attraction. I'm a certified law of attraction trainer, as Judy is. And I also have been I've been working and studying many spiritual paths since I was a very young boy. I'm also intuitive. I also use something called A Course in Miracles, which is a spiritual mind training to help us to get our mind in the right place so that we can attract positive results. And as the saying goes, you know, change your mind, change your life. And I know that's one of, that's part of Judy's tagline, but it's really true. And we here are all about using the power of your mind to change your results. So that's what I'm about. And also, before we move into the show, I want to tell you to go to thepositiveprincipleshow.com, and there's a lot of resources there for you. And you can also take part in our polls. And that's where hopefully you're watching the show right now. And please sign up for our updates of when the shows are coming and also the recordings of the show so that you can participate in the show too. I want to also tell you very quickly is that many of you have been watching the show when we had our 4 participants on. We have been in touch with all of them, and I just talked to Jack today, and Jack is doing really well. Jack is probably going to be teaching some classes in the spring. I mean in the fall about near-death experiences, and he's doing the Jack Chat Show, and you can go to jackchatshow.com and watch his show, and he's just a great guy, and he's doing really well. And all the other, Angelica is moving to Las Vegas. I think this week she's going to Las Vegas. Mary Beth is really doing really well, and so is Heather. So we're very soon we're going to have a reunion show, which is going to be fun. So enough about that. Judy, can you please tell people a little more about what you do before we get into the comments and the questions for the show today?
Absolutely. I love that you gave an update on those because I'm such a fan of the show and following their journey and seeing where they're at now. I think it's going to be a really, really great episode when you have the reunion of them coming back because the show itself has been amazing. I'm a huge fan. No. Like everybody else out there watching, I'm sure. But I am Judy Gary, and I'm a certified law of attraction facilitator with Max. We're both certified by Michael Lozier, and I have my own Hangout with Judy show that I do on Tuesdays, and I specialize in cleansing negative vibration to support the healing and manifestation process, particularly around depression, anxiety, panic attacks, someone who's feeling like, they have a life mess going on. That's where I specialize in because I've been there before. I've been in a life mess for years. I struggled with panic attacks for 24 years. And so I know what it's like to be there, and I know what it takes to come out of that, and I know how awesome it is to live a happy, fulfilling life. So I'm grateful to be able to contribute to the world through my own experience. So thank you for having me here, Max.
Oh, it's great to have you. Your beautiful face, your beautiful energy, your high vibration. So let me just tell the viewers what we're going to do today. We're gonna read some comments and questions that we put out, and then we're just gonna do what Polly and I do. We're gonna talk about what we would do, what our advice would be, how we apply it into our lives. So, but first, I want to just one of our friends of the show and she's taken. I think a couple of my classes. She took the 12-week love experience, which, by the way, is going to be coming up this summer again. Yolanda, and Yolanda is awesome. She immediately put this on the website, on the comments below this video, so you can read that, but I'm going to read it right now. She says, "Hi, Max and cast members. I use LOA on a daily basis." And for all of you that don't know, LOA is Law of Attraction. I first learned about it through The Secret, but I found the true meaning by listening and studying with Michael Lozier, our mentor. Vibrations, the actual manifestation process, really started to take off after I studied with Max. And I found love and I found acceptance for myself. I had many challenges throughout the process of interchange, ranging from sorrow and anger to disbelief, denial, and a refusal to take responsibility for the things that happened in my life. But now I am filled with inner peace, joy, and love, thanks to Max's teachings. I think this is a very important ingredient. This is what I wanted to tell you all. This is why I want to read this. I think this is a very important ingredient. At least it was for me. The peace part. I have been teaching my grandchildren about Law of Attraction, and I've even established a Law of Attraction group, which meets bi-weekly. It is my experience that once I found the inner peace that I was seeking, everything else just fell into place. Desires manifest quickly for me now because my vibration is really, truly positive, and I remain on a high-flying disc most of the time. I've also learned how to reframe statements, and when I feel my vibration going down, this is important, everyone. She says, when I feel my vibration going down, I'm able to stop that process and move my vibration back up by saying, la, 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 la. It can do wonders. It's a constant practice with many daily challenges, but remember that you're in charge of your feelings and take responsibility for everything that happens in your life. The Law of Attraction is a lifestyle. Enjoy the process, and much peace and love to all of you. Namaste. Wow. I mean, how could that be any better, Judy, right?
Wow. Yes. And just, it's like listening to you read her comment, I can picture her there going, being in such a high vibration and then something happening and then it's like, la, 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 and it goes right back up. I can just imagine that. And, I know how that feels, and that's a form of mastery. It's where the lifestyle of Law of Attraction, it's like you live this stuff, and I know I live this stuff, Max lives this stuff, so I love hearing other people who live the Law of Attraction because it's life-changing.
It is life-changing, and one thing before we go into our comments and questions is that I wanted to say one thing she brought up that I feel that a lot of people kind of miss in Law of Attraction is that, and I think you addressed this and a lot of people, but people that just kind of cursory work with the law of attraction, they don't really get this. It really is about healing that underneath vibration, finding that inner peace, finding that place that's inside of you that's already happy, that's already peaceful, that already feels good, and connecting with that consciously all the time. And that changes everything. And I think that that's sort of what she was pointing out. And I love the fact that she says there's challenges. You know, this isn't like, you know, there's no magic pill. This isn't a magic pill. This is a lifestyle where you work on it and you shift and you change, and you're always like, I mean, I know, Judy, you have issues sometimes. I have issues sometimes, and we have to go, hold on, let me give enough attention to it by not ignoring it and pretending it's not there. But enough so that you can then make a choice. And in the Course in Miracles, he says, our greatest power is our power of choice beyond the insanity of the world. And the insanity of the world will say, be fearful, be crazy, you're to blame, something's wrong with you. But it's really when you start to find that way to let go of that and say, la, 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 or I always say, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing to that voice. And then you just move on anyway. The more that we can do that, the more the law of attraction works. Don't you agree?
I agree. Today I did episode 29 on my Hangout show, and it was all about releasing vibrational anchors. Like if you have a lot of negative vibrational anchors, and I talked about getting to the core, you know, because when you heal at the core, everything else just kind of dissolves. All the other things that are perceived as issues and bad things, it just like they go away. Yeah. And we talked about that, so I love that, you know, you're talking about going to the core, because when you go to the core, it's like it really just cleans things up quickly.
Yeah, like in my classes, I call it the UL, the underlying vibration, the ULV, the underlying vibration. And you know, for people that don't know, you might know, since if you watch Judy or watch me, there's a formula that we have that's called your words create your thoughts, create your vibration, creates your results, which is a 4-step process. But I believe your underlying vibration comes before the words, and when you deal with that, that's when everything starts flowing. Don't you think?
Yeah, and you know, you call it the underlying vibration. I call it the core or internal vibration, but it all means the same thing.
Same thing. All right, let's read our first question, okay? Okay, so I will read this. This is from Christine. I had a job I hated. I hated it for years. I was desperate to leave, but could not find another job. I felt trapped. I was trapped. Then I learned about the law of attraction. I immediately began to focus on what I did like about the job, and focused on the positive only. I got a new job that I love. Just a few months later, things changed immediately for me when my attitude changed. How's that? So good, right?
I love it.
Yeah.
Go, Christine!
Go, Christine! It's so good. I feel so like she gets it. She gets it, and the only way you get it is by doing the work, right?
Yeah, and you know, her comment of her success, it takes me back to when I was coming out of my life mess, and there was a quote by Jim Rohn. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Jim Rohn, but this quote stayed with me my transformation year, what I call 2010, and it was, be happy with what you have while you pursue all that you want. So with her, she decided to be happy with her workspace and focus on what was good about it, and then while she was pursuing what she really wanted, and then boom, it manifested. You know, it's just like going back to the internal vibration. You clean up the internal vibration at work and poof.
Right. You know, in the Course in Miracles, which I teach the Course in Miracles, and I always come back to that, he says that a miracle is a shift in your perception. So when you change your perception about anything, that's when things can change. If you keep staying at the level at which the problem is happening, it will never change, because you're always in that same vibration. But when you can change your perception of it and you go to a different level and say, you know what, I'm going to refuse to look at all the negative things. I'm going to start to look at maybe there's one positive thing and focus on that. Then it changes, because we're creating that reality by what we're focusing on. So good for you, Christine.
Yay!
Awesome. I think we have another cool positive quote next. What do we have?
Oh, yeah. Becky has a really wonderful comment and success story. I was stuck in a negative frame of mind about money and relationships. Figured out the law of attraction and now regularly see signs from the universe and trust my intuition. I'm now totally attracting fun, money, and love, and it's all because I have started using my inner self and treating her like a queen that I now flow downstream towards everything good. I would not be the happy person I am without the law of attraction. Woohoo!
Oh my gosh, I just love that. I love that. I mean, what do you have to say about that first?
Well, you know what? I know what it feels like to be stuck in a negative frame of mind, and I love that, when she's attracting fun, money, and love, I feel the lightness of that, and it's just, it raises my vibration just reading that.
Yeah. You know what? That's such a great point that you're making right now, is that the way the law of attraction works on vibration and works with your feelings and your vibration. So we have to be so aware of our feelings. And most people are walking around the world, they're not aware of their feelings. They're not aware of it at all. And then they don't know why they're attracting all these crazy things, because they're not aware that, oh my God, I'm in fear. Oh my God, I'm in desperation. Oh, I'm overwhelmed. They just think that's just the way it is, instead of going, oh, I have this feeling. What can I do to shift it? What can I do to change it? Because it's like a feeling universe, and it's just going to give us, the law of attraction states that whatever we give our attention, energy, and focus to is what we will create and attract in our life. So if we're not aware of what we're giving our attention to, our feelings to, then we can't do it. But we've got to be aware of our feelings. And sometimes people don't trust that feeling. They're like, well, I feel good. Well, that's the work, right?
Yeah. Another thing that I love that she said was that she's treating herself like a queen. And that is truly honoring yourself. It's self-love. And when you embrace you and the self-love, then it's like, law of attraction's job description is to match our vibrations. And one thing that I teach in my classes is we are a team with law of attraction. We are a team. Law of attraction is going to match our vibrations regardless what vibration we're sending. Right. So we might as well be sending a good one, right? So that's one thing that I really like to bring home in my training and coaching is like your team. Just always remember that. Law of attraction is going to do its job, and we got to do our job to stay in a positive vibration. Yeah. And Becky is a true advocate that, hey, you know what? Look. And so is Christine, and then Yolanda earlier. Yeah. So many people are incorporating this into their life and seeing amazing results. So yeah. I love law of attraction, Max.
Me too. It's co-creation. It's like it's not gonna. We have to be the other part of the whole situation. Mm-hmm. We're not a victim of the world. The Course in Miracles says, the world is just a blank screen. We can think about like going to the movies, and it's just a big blank screen, and we are the projector that's creating everything on the screen. So it's like whatever we're thinking about, what we're focusing on, is that it's going to happen out there. And when we really take responsibility for that, that's the key to freedom. So let's go on to our next question. And this actually, I do have the names for some of these that you don't. But this is from Jody, who I love so much, and she's in Australia. She's my great Down Under friend. I've got a lot of Down Under fans out there. So, hey, Melbourne and Gold Coast and all that. So Jody says, I have learned the power of law of attraction. There is no doubt in my mind that it works. But it's not always easy keeping thoughts positive when money is tight or bills come in. When we don't expect it easy to when we don't expect it's easy to fall into. Don't expect it's easy. Sorry to say that again. It's easy to fall into there's not enough mindset. How does one not fall into that not enough mindset? And I love you, by the way. Oh, sorry. Anyway, she says, I love you, by the way. I'm going to read my response real quick, and then let's talk. I said this to her. I said, Jody, that's a great question, and one that I hear and experience myself over and over. The answer is twofold. First, we have to remember the law of attraction states that I focus on, I will attract more. Therefore, the more that we look at not enough, not enough, not enough, the more not enough we're going to attract, especially if we look at it with great feeling. Remember, I was just saying feeling. Secondly, the best way to deal with not enough is to detach emotionally from that temporary state. It's just a temporary state that you don't have enough right now. The more that we can be detached emotionally from it and keep ourselves from not going into fear and craziness, the better. This is where a sincere spiritual path comes into play. If we do not have a consistent spiritual practice that keeps us in touch with the limitlessness of creation, we will always go back to fear and we will always go back to lack. If we do have that connection with Source, whatever you want to call it, the emotional hook of lack is much harder to get its hook into us. I once heard the answer to every single question is meditate. Because when we stop our crazy fear-based self, we are then opened up to limitlessness and peace. If all that is too deep, just focus on all you do have and know that ebb and flow are a part of life. Ride the wave with joy. So, I know that was a long answer, but what do you have to say about this not enough in the money situation?
Well, you know, Max, you're brilliant, as always. I always love your answers and how you just really, you know, really get into the core of things. You go straight to that. You know, and one thing that I would say when it comes to not having enough money or being fearful about not paying the bills is the question, and you said her name was Jody?
Jody, yeah.
Right. Is I would ask Jody a question like, has there ever been a time in your life that you didn't have the money right now, but then the money just showed up and you was provided for? Because you find proof that, you know what, the money's coming. Because I know there's been so many times in my life whenever I first started learning about law of attraction that I wouldn't have any money, and I was like, oh gosh, how's the bill going back? And then I would just, you know what, I'm going to let law of attraction figure it out. I'm going to trust the process, and money always showed up. Now, Max, have you ever had money just come to you when you needed it from an unknown source?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I mean, it happens to me quite a bit. And also, you know, the other thing that's really important, I mean, it's happened to me a lot. The other thing that's important with the whole money issue, because I think a lot of people definitely are dealing with the money issue, is that if we can switch our kind of focus that money is the key to all of our happiness, all of our safety, everything, that it's the defining factor in everything we do. If we can switch that, then it's really easy, because you know what? You can be taken care of in a million, you already are taken care of. You're alive. You've got a beautiful body. You have a family. You already are taken care of. But if you can say, you know what? Who knows? Maybe I don't need the money. You know, I've let that go, and I get free stuff all the time. Free trips, free cars, I get free big stuff all the time, because you know what? I don't even know if I have to have the money, because I've kind of worked on that. I let go of it. Sometimes I say I'm the king of attracting free crap, but it's the other word. But it's important to look at not making money the defining factor in everything in your life. And if you can do that all the time and stop saying I can't afford it and just go, you know what, I choose not to have that right now, or whatever, you know, you have to, like, money is just a thing. We're giving all the meaning to the money. And in this society, money has so much meaning that's sick, that keeps us blocked. Yeah, and I do want to really pinpoint something that you said about, you know, guiding your focus toward what you do already have. You know, because when you're appreciating, you're in a vibration of appreciation and gratitude, then that's one of the highest vibrations. And of course, you're going to manifest more things to appreciate. And another thing, Max, that you made me think of was talking about, you know, you don't always need the money. So, like, for example, a friend of mine years ago come over, and a single mom with 4 kids, and she needed clothes for one of her daughter's school. And I told her, she's like, I need $200. And I said, well, what do you need it for? She said, for clothes for my daughter's school. And I told her, I said, so really what you want is clothes. It's not the $200. She was like, no, I want $200 for clothes. She didn't get it. And then finally, I said, you want the clothes. So you focus on manifesting the clothes. You'll either manifest $200 or more to buy clothes, or you manifest the clothes. Max, I am telling you,
within, we was in the midst of this conversation, her phone rang. It was her daughter. And her daughter was telling her mother that she was over at her best friend's house, and her best friend had loaded up a pile of clothes and was sending them home with her, and how she loved this little girl's clothes, and she was, passing them down to her. And when she hung up, she said, "You're not going to believe this." I said, "Oh, yes, I will."
Oh, yes, I am. That's how it works. I love that story so much, Judy, because that's exactly, we make it the block in everything that we do. It's like, you don't know. You have no idea, And you know what? We get paid in we get paid in gratitude. We get paid in gifts. We get paid in so many ways. Just stop focusing on the freaking money. Let it go. It will, you're always going to be taken care of, for sure.
Yeah. So focus on what you already have. And then what was the second one? Find proof that you've manifested money before. And then the third thing, take money out of the equation.
Yeah, take money out of the equation. It's so important. I love that. All right. I know that we're probably going to go a little bit over, Judy, but let's go on to our next question.
Okay. Do you want me to read this one for you?
Yeah, if you can read that. That's from Leslie. I'm just looking at it. Go ahead.
Leslie. Okay. Leslie says, "Okay, Max Ryan, how about a resolution to relationship issues that work for everyone? No, not just work, but are the highest good for all concerned. Oh, and let's make that as easy as possible to accept by everyone. What do you think?"
We talked about this before the show started because Judy was like, "What is she talking about?" And I've already answered this on Facebook, so let me just say this. I immediately zoomed in. It could be my intuition or whatever it is. I use my intuition all the time, and all of you should be using your intuition too. So I immediately knew this was a case where somebody was putting other people's needs in front of theirs, and they were a caregiver, and they were minding other people's vibrations, because she specifically says here about, let's make it as easy as possible and accept that this accepted by everyone in the highest order, about the resolution to a relationship. Obviously, she's talking about it's a relationship that is not working anymore and it needs to end. And so I knew right away, it was like, it's not about them. We have to understand in law of attraction and in life is that we cannot control anybody. We can only control who, Judy?
Ourselves.
So I immediately could sense that she's trying to, it's okay to have the highest good, the intention of highest good for all. But I could sense right away that highest good of all kind of intention is kind of a caregiver, they're more important than me thing. And I was like, no, you have to mind your vibration, and you can state what you need and what you want with grace and love. And as you do that, and you can walk away strong with grace and love, that's not a match anymore. Maybe at some time it was a match, but it's not a match anymore. And if you can do that now, the universe or God or peanut butter and sky, whatever you call it, is going to keep bringing you a situation so you can have a different response to it. So if that happens again next time, if she does it with grace and love and minds her own vibration and cares for herself, then it's not going to be nearly as bad. And so that we have to make sure we're not trying to control other people's realities, and we have to never forsake ourselves. Huge. That's from the Bible. Do not forsake me, and do not forsake. And what he's really saying in the Bible is like, do not forsake me. Is like he, God, whatever you want to call it, is us. Don't forsake yourself. Don't forsake yourself. And we're doing it all the time. We're letting other people's needs come before us. We're doing things we really don't want to. But when you do law of attraction work, you start to do what feels good for you, and you have a strong commitment and vigilance to do that. Does that make sense, Judy?
Absolutely. And one thing I want to say, Max, is, and everybody out there, Max is a great intuitive, because I am telling you, like he and I, we mastermind a lot, and he'll pick things up really, really quickly. So I know you have the intuitive readings that you do, and I know on your Empower Radio show, like every Friday or something, you do readings.
Yep, I do. I do.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I just wanted to mention that because, Max, you are amazing, at everything that you do, and the fact that you do the intuitive readings, I think that's very special, and how you just pick things up just by reading that, you immediately picked up what she needed. And just, kind of going with what you were saying was, talking about taking care of ourselves. It's just like you get on the airplane, and they always say, put the oxygen mask on yourself first, then you help the other person. Because if you're gasping for air, then, instead of helping the other person, somebody's going to have to help you. So it's best to help ourselves, because when we take care of us, we can take care of others better. We can, like, when I take care of myself, I can be a better mom. I can be a better wife. I can be a better coach and trainer and whatever else, all them other little titles that we hold throughout the world. But, it is true. So, Max, you're amazing, as always.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. All right, we're coming up on the half hour. We're probably going to go just a few minutes over. Is that okay, Judy?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. So that's really good. And I will tell you that Leslie did private message me that it really that answer really did help her a lot. So good for you, Leslie. And I love also, I do want to say this, Judy. I am so impressed that this week, we've been starting the Positive Principles show in a different way without the cast, and we're depending on the audience participation and people sending in comments. And we've had so many. We can't get to all of them, but we're just picking a few of them that seem to resonate. But I say good for you for having the vulnerability, and also for having the the wherewithal and the gumption to say, I need help. Can you help me? That's a big deal, don't you think, Judy?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So please keep sending your comments and everything in. So let's go to our next one. What are we talking about next? This might be our last. Wait, hold on. Let me ask you this. Do you think we should do this one or go right to that last
one? Whatever you want to do. I'm good with either way.
The next one's really good. Read the next one.
Okay. Max, what do you think is the most powerful way to avoid the pitfalls between the believe and receive steps in the law of attraction? For me, I know in my heart that it works and it is the truth, but oftentimes I think I get stuck in the believe stage of the process until I slowly find myself falling out of that mindset and feeling of believing into doubt. Or trickier, I get to a place where something is presented to me and I'm like, is that the opportunity I've asked for? But then freak out thinking about whether that is or isn't what I asked for, because I don't want to convince myself into the wrong thing. Does one know when one knows? Is it even a feeling?
Sorry, I was coughing. I had to go out for a second. First of all, I do want to tell, just to identify, that's Chelsea from Facebook. And so, Chelsea, I didn't respond to you because we knew we were going to talk about this. This has a lot. That receive, believe part has so much to do with doubt. It has so much to do with finding proof in the world so that you feel that it's like, you know what, your doubt is going down and your belief is going up. That is the only way, we teach this, I know Judy teaches it the same way I do, is that the only way we can allow things to come in is to lower our doubt. The doubt is like the door that's keeping it all shut from coming in. That's the vibrational, the feeling that's keeping all the things we want from coming in. So the believe and receive thing is that we've got to be on the lookout all the time in the world, in movies and literature, in other people's lives, in our life, for things that are working out. So our doubt, the receiving part, goes, oh, it's working. Oh, it's working for them. It's working there. I see it's happening there. When you start to really notice that instead of focusing on where it's all not working, then automatically your doubt goes down, and so that you can actually receive it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
What do you have to say about that?
Absolutely. I agree, Max. And also when she was saying that where you get into a place where you manifest something, like you've decided you wanted something, and then a lot of times if it doesn't show up fast enough, then we become impatient, and impatient is, of course, a negative vibration. Doubt starts coming in, and what that actually means is you fall out of alignment with manifesting it. You're now in alignment with something else showing up because you have a negative vibration around it. But when she was talking about, like, she's manifested something and she's wondering, is that the opportunity? She doesn't know if this is the one or not. I could totally relate with that.
Yeah.
Because when I first learned about law of attraction, before I ever really started understanding and mastering and really applying it to my life, I was like that when I first started learning, and things would come to me, and I would be like, oh, I'm assuming this is the one I would take. Like, say, for example, I wanted to manifest an opportunity, and an opportunity would show up that cost $10,000. Well, since it showed up, I need to shell out $10,000 because I asked for it. I would literally think that, and then I'd, like, get a negative vibration around, spending the $10,000 and investing it. And so now, because I have a complete understanding of law of attraction, here's one thing, and that was Chelsea.
Yeah.
So Chelsea, here's one thing I would recommend for you is to know that when we start manifesting things, they're going to come in 3 different ways. It's either going to be a match, which could very well be, just a match. It's just like Dr. Pepper. This is how I like to explain it to people, is that you order something to drink, and say you wanted a water with lemon. Well, Dr. Pepper shows up. Well, is that a drink? Yeah, it's a drink. Okay, so that's a match, but it's not your ideal match. So you tell the waiter, law of attraction, you reorder and say, I want a water with lemon. Well, then they come out with a water, which that is a close match, but it's still not an ideal match. So you tell the waiter, law of attraction, I wanted a water with lemon. So then they come out with your water with lemon. So you're either going to get a Dr. Pepper, a water, or your water with lemon. So a match, a close match, or an ideal match. And you have to decide if you're going to accept the match while you're pursuing the ideal match. Because we like to play with ideal matches.
Yeah.
Does that make sense, Matt?
It's so good. It's so good. It just is making me think about so many things when you said that. I was like, ah! Oh! It's so good because it is, you think about how many times, this comes back to forsaking yourself, because how many times in our life do we just go, oh, I'll just take the Dr. Pepper?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Oh my God. And instead of going, no, I'd rather sit here and be thirsty and not have the Dr. Pepper, because it makes me sick to even think about Dr. Pepper. So, it's so important. God, that's so good. So good. I love it. I love it. I love it. So good. Yeah, that's
you like
really
my Dr. Pepper water analogy.
But I think that's really good for what she's talking about. I mean, I think that that's a really good analogy because it makes it so doable and practical. Because when you see it, but you do have to know what you want. That comes back to the clarity piece. You can't know if you got the wrong drink if you don't even know what kind of drink you want.
Exactly.
You just go, well, I'm thirsty, and then a Dr. Pepper comes and you go, I wanted a Coke. If you don't even know you wanted the water with lemon, then you're really off the track. So you have to know what you want, the clarity piece. Huge, huge, huge. And that does give Chelsea a lot to think about, because, you don't know, but your feelings will tell you. Your feelings will go, that's not exactly right. And then you have to go back and go, is it not right because it's scary and you have to live up to your potential, whatever is coming? Or is it not right because the form doesn't feel like it's a match? Two different things.
Exactly. Two different things. You have to just listen to what comes up. It's like, no, that's not a match. Or, oh, yeah, I'm scared to do that now. That's where you need to go there and work on that negative vibration. Because if you feel it's an ideal match and then you've got that fear and stuff holding you back, now that's a whole nother answer.
That means that it's there to help you to grow.
Exactly.
It's there to help you to grow. Everything's there. And you never grow in your comfort zone. It never happens. You have to be like, okay, I'm scared. I don't really want to go on stage, but I'll do it anyway. Or whatever it happens to be. We have to do that because we're responsible for our growth. I love it. So I hope that helped for Chelsea. Let's do the very last one here because I think it's pretty intense. And I'm not going to say the name of this person, but let's just go for it. And we're already 10 minutes over, but you're okay, Judy?
I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. You're all good. I'm having a good time. I'm having a great time.
Me too. High vibrations. Okay. So I'll read it. You ready?
Okay, ready.
Okay. So this is from a Facebook listener, friend. She says, what about an ex-spouse that continually harasses? My ex keeps taking me back to court on false claims, refuses to follow the parenting plan, lies to the kids, etc. I have tried to not let it drag me down, but I still have to respond. Hire attorneys, refute the lies, deal with the harassments, etc. It's been 3 years. I want to move on, but I have 10 more years of having to deal with him since I have an 8-year-old now. What do you do when someone is hell-bent on trying to destroy you? Okay, first I have to say this. What I said before about people's vulnerability and people being willing to ask the hard questions, you know what? You get the cake. You get the cake because this is tough. This is where the rubber meets the road, and this is where, law of attraction is what I would call a mystical path, like the Course in Miracles. It's about how do you apply these things in your daily life. It's not a philosophy you sit and think about. It's about how do you do it? How do you apply these things to make sure that you have a life that's full of love and joy and peace. And so I know that when we were talking about this before, Judy, you had said you kind of related to this situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hers is a bit more tense than mine was.
Right.
But whenever I first split up, when me and my baby's daddy, my son, I just had to say that. When we first split up, things were very rocky between he and I. And there was several times there was a lot of court things going on. And for the first several years, he remarried, and then I didn't get along with him or his wife, and things were just always really, really rough. And I'm sharing this with you all because I know many of you, especially the person who sent this, I'm hoping that my story will give you some hope that things can change and things can change very quickly. Because I'm going to tell you, for years, I butted heads with my ex. I butted heads with his wife. There was constant battles going on between us. And then finally, I went through my life mess, and when I was coming out, I was on a path to be happy, which meant everything that made me happy was allowed in my life, and things that didn't make me happy wasn't allowed. And that meant arguing with my ex or his wife or anything like that. That wasn't allowed anymore. So I'm telling you, my vibration changed. Get this. Our relationship changed. I am now, and been since 2010, been really great friends with my son's daddy. Like literally, I go spend the night at their house, and they come to spend the night at my house. We go as me and my husband and my son, and then him and his wife and his kids. We all go fishing together, and we do things like that. And me and my relationship with my former mother-in-law, we're like, she's actually coming to spend the weekend with me next weekend for my son's graduation. So I just want to say that, when our vibration changes, then the relationships change too. People are responding to the vibration that we're sending about them. So I would recommend that you change your vibration about your ex-spouse and watch what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, it's totally, and I can literally say this because it's like night and day between me and my ex now. Totally like night and day.
I have to say, thank you for rescuing me from that. Because I was going to say a very similar thing, but it doesn't have a ring of truth because I haven't been through a divorce. I haven't done that before, so I don't know. But I do know that principle is true no matter what. We do not always attract what we want, but we always will attract what we are. That's a big deal. And you know what? And sometimes it's a little like you gotta be able to take that. And it's not blaming you. It's not about blaming us. It's about, that's our key to freedom. Really, it's our key to freedom. So that we can then say, you know what? Maybe on a service level, I'm not like, thinking badly about him, but there's something inside that's pushing against him. And that's why it's pushing back at you. So this is, I mean, and you know what? I believe that love is the highest vibration that there is. And I believe that most people aren't using love. And I'm not saying to the person that had this question, you're not using love. But if you can practice using love in this situation more by saying, love, 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 love. I love this situation, even though you don't. You can say, I love this situation. I love him. I love my kids. I love how everything is working out perfectly. It's all working out perfectly. And if you can use love in that situation, you will change your vibration, because, you know, it might have started a little bit, but now you're in what I call the hamster wheel of the crazy. And then the hamster wheel of the crazy is really tempting you. You know, in all ancient old time religion, say, the devil is on your shoulder and it's tempting you to come down that road of negativity right now. It's tempting you to be like, okay, are you going to push against? Are you going to push against? Are you going to go crazy? You're going to go crazy? Because this is what big thing. And people that know me, I believe we're miracle makers. We are not human beings. We are miracle makers. And the law of attraction work is about having everything working in a miraculous way for us, more than we could ever figure out. We can't do it. But when we set the vibrational tone, that's when spirit, universe, source, peanut butter in the sky puts it all together for you, that you go, whoa. But you have to, at that point, you have to go, I need a miracle. I'm open to a miracle, and I'm just going to keep loving my way through this. Mm-hmm. Love is the highest vibration. I mean, that's what I would say. And I've had clients say, you're crazy. I can't do that. I can't do. I'm like, well, you know, why don't you just try for a week praying with love for him and seeing beyond, because what's focused, I'm going to go off for just a second. What we are focusing on is the personality level. The personality level is an illusion. That person's soul, your ex's soul, is a child of light just like you are, but you're not seeing it. If you can even be willing to say, underneath all of that harassment, underneath all of that craziness, is God. If you can do that, boy, your vibration changes. And I know I'm asking big, you know, this is big. But if you want miracles, you have to go to the miracle place, and that's the miracle place. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm done with my sermon. That was it.
Beautifully said, Max. Beautifully said. And I just really have to ask you this, because I heard it twice, and I think you said what I think you said. Did you say peanut butter in the sky?
Yes, I said that a lot.
I was like, did he say that? Is that what he said? And I thought, I'm going to ask him. Did he say peanut butter in the sky?
Well, I'm respectful of everybody's belief systems. And
yeah.
You know, no one's belief is better than my belief. But I have a belief. I don't have a belief. I know that there is an energy that's running the situation. That's not us. Mm-hmm. That is life itself. That's what I just call life itself. Some people call it God. Some people call it Jesus, Buddha, Mohammed, whatever you want to call it. And some people just call it peanut butter in the sky. So just like, you know what? It's peanut butter in the sky. It's just like we say, you know what? Let law of attraction figure out. I say LOA or GOD. It doesn't matter what you call it. It matters that you do call on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it just, you know, that right there, it just really lightens things anyway. It's peanut butter in the sky. I was just like, is that what you said? I love that, though. I really do. I love that.
And you know what? There's a place, you know what, I feel very strongly, Judy. There's a place in our lives for in-depth, deep, serious inquiry and facing our stuff. And then there's also the place right around the corner from that is lightness. Mm-hmm. So there's a place for all of it. And so our experience of life can be all of those things. It just doesn't have to be heavy, and it doesn't have to be all like whatever. So I'm glad that you pointed that out. Peanut butter in the sky.
I'm sure other people was saying, did he say peanut butter and jelly? Peanut butter in the sky. I'm throwing jelly in there now.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say, you know, it's kind of time to wrap up here, and I just wanted to thank you for being on the show, because you know what? If I'm peanut butter, you're my jelly.
Oh, I love that.
That was nice. Thank you.
That
So,
is. I'm trying to think of something clever to come back, and it ain't coming to me yet.
it has something to do with making a sandwich somewhere.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I got bread.
So I just have to say, this has been so fantastic. You and I have such a great relationship. We've known each other, and I respect you as a person and your work. And I want to make sure. I mean, even when Polly comes back on, maybe we can have you as a guest. It'll be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Polly is amazing too.
Oh yeah, she's great.
That's great company right there, being with you and Polly.
We'll have a great time. So listen, I have some things I want to tell all the viewers before we wrap up. But before I do that, I want to make sure that everyone knows how to get in touch with you, because I do know that you are launching a new program very soon. Sorry, because what you said was we've been in Mastermind, so I do know what you've been working on. And it's great. And it's really, it's something that I really feel that people can really get a lot out of. So can you please tell us what you're working on and how to get in touch with you?
Absolutely. So of course, I have my Hang Out with Judy show. It's hangoutwithjudy.com, and my show is every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then, like Max is talking about, this new Law of Attraction class that is, I have open enrollment right now. And in this class, I'm going to be teaching my 5 simple steps to healing and master manifesting. So if you have something in your life, whether it's depression, anxiety, panic attacks, anything that you need to heal in your life, or if you want to manifest something, I've used the same 5 simple steps to eliminate panic attacks, to heal myself from multiple sclerosis diagnosis, to manifest my car, to my floor. I use the same 5 steps for everything, and that my class that's coming up. So if you go to hangoutwithjudy.com, you will see the Law of Attraction class is open for enrollment. You just click that link, and you can learn all about it there. And then, of course, I have my coaching and stuff too. You can see all that on my website. So I'm so thrilled to be here. Thank you, Max, for having me. It's been fun, and everybody's questions. It's always great to be in the energy of Max.
Oh, I feel the same way. Thank you. I really, I mean, my heart is just wide open, because I appreciate you coming on kind of last minute, and we had a great time, which I knew we would. So everyone, thank you all for listening and for watching the show. And if you are interested in really getting more involved in the show, please go to thepositiveprincipleshow.com down there, and you can sign up for our newsletter, where we'll send you reminders of the show and everything. But I also want to tell you, there is a Positive Results Google community, but I'm just going to tell you this. I have created, let me just show you this. It's Max Ryan's, it's a little bright, Law of Attraction and Course in Miracles Google Plus community. If you don't know about Google Plus, it's one of the greatest tools really to get information out there, to have a community. And in my my Law of Attraction and Course in Miracles community, I have videos, I have audios, I have so much content for you, and a lot of it no one else can get to, and it's at no cost for you. You just sign up, and you can go to attractpositiveresults.com. Yeah, don't go here. You can go there to sign up for the show, but if you want to be on this, go to attractpositiveresults.com, and on the home page at the bottom it says Google Community. Go on there and then join us, because it's a lot of fun. We are uploading all of our Course in Miracles calls. We have free Wednesday night calls about the Course in Miracles that I run. Everyone is welcome to join those, but we put the recordings in there. And there's love videos. There's all the Positive Results shows are in there. So I would love to have you. And please make your comments below here on the blog, so that we know what you thought of the show, what you want to know more of, and also, what you learned, what you took away from the show. Because, with Judy's help, we covered a lot of things today. So it's very important, I believe, to reflect and assess what you learned, because it makes the learning go deeper and deeper. So next week we will be back with a whole new topic, and we haven't decided on what it's going to be yet, but Polly will be back from her vacation, and we will do another awesome Positive Results Coaches Chat, and have a wonderful week. I will see you later. Bye, Judy.
Bye. Bye, y'all.
Everyone.
See you later.